All right. Okay, guys, we're here today live with Mr. Albie Stasek, and he's coming to us from Ohio. And, he is one of the founders of Honey Badger Nation. So here we go.
This is Honey Badger Nation,
where real estate agents from around the globe come together
to grow, collaborate,
and expand their business.
Where we take our individual fires and put them together and make one big fire.
This is the Honey Badger Nation.
All right, here we go. Welcome, Al. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm good, Ed. How are you?
I'm doing great. I feel like I just joined EXP a month ago because the first 30 months, man, were, as you know, the little story. But anyway, Honey Badger Nation, guys, I put it in the ticker at the bottom because people have been asking me, what's Honey Badger Nation? What's a honey badger? So a honey badger is considered the world's most fearless creature, right? That's how honey badger started. And, the collaboration with Honey Badger Nation is just incredible. As you know, Al, I've been in the business now 32 years. I've never seen anything like this Honey Badger Nation. And, just last week I was interviewing somebody from our network, Steve McCarthy. Never met Steve from California. He speaks highly of you. I didn't realize he was one of the original. He came as soon as you got over. He's like, what did Al do? What did he do going to EXP?
Yeah. So, Steve was one of my favorite all-time coaching clients. Him and Kelly are just salt of the earth, and they really embody, we came up with the Honey Badger award used to be given out by my business partners now, but they were my coaches, Mike and Jay, Michael Reese and Jay Kinder, for the most fearless coaching client they had that would just, relentlessly get after it, that relentless pursuit of, a better way of growing the business and overcoming obstacles and, really just being hungry, humble, and smart. So, the McCarthys and a ton of our leaders that are in this organization really just they come forward with a giving heart, and they give first and expect nothing back. But we know what happens, Ed. It always comes back to you tenfold the more you give. So that's what I think really makes the group so special.
Yeah, it sure does, and it's just the amount of networking that you can do and collaboration between people all over the country and now all over the world. And that's what we're here to talk about today. Or, that's what I wanted to talk about today. How, an average agent like myself can grow into other states without having to. I'm not even I'm only licensed in New Jersey. I have people now in Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Florida. And I'm just getting started. And now you guys have it all over the world. So yeah, I wanted to talk about how easy we can do that. You want to elaborate at all on that?
Yeah, I mean the ability to expand not only outside of your state lines, but literally across country lines is really something that we just haven't seen, unless, of course, you wanted to go and purchase a franchise, into another country or another state. And then, that would involve you either finding investors or coming up with the capital to not just buy the franchise, but then also, sign an expensive lease and then furnish that office. We're able to do that and bring someone into our group and give them the value that they need to grow their real estate business without having all that overhead expense. And really what it boils down to is lack of constraints that we used to have with your traditional real estate company. I mean, right. Ed, I've never in a million years, if you would have told me 5 years ago that I would have, a real estate organization that expanded across 5-6 different countries, let alone all 50 states.
Right.
I would have really challenged that notion and said, I think you're nuts, because I just had my own independent real estate brokerage in Cleveland, Ohio. It was a boutique brokerage. The most agents I ever had was 12 agents.
Yeah.
And we were, kind of just cranking right along, doing our thing. And then this idea came along of a cloud-based brokerage, which, by the way, I didn't even understand the full scope of why that was important. But you're nailing it just in talking about the whole international expansion that we're witnessing this company do. That would not be possible if we had a traditional business model where we had to go out, sell franchises, and open up offices across the ocean and in different countries and this and that.
Right. And then we landed Michael Valdez that does that for us and expands into these other countries, leading the charge.
Yeah.
So, I just think I think a lot of people just need to hear this because people have connections in other countries. Some of the agents that I know in the marketplace, they have connections in other countries. Now, do they know realtors there? Maybe not. I don't know, but they have family and friends there, and they can certainly they know the language there, so they can certainly expand pretty more easily, I think, into these other countries. So I got a list of the other countries, but I'm going to try to do something, and I've never done this on my end with StreamYard. So bear with me, folks, if I'm going to try to share my screen and bring up the international map. And let's see if I'm successful without. From what I hear is when you share your screen, I won't be able to see us together. Is that on your screen now or no?
No, I'm just seeing us right now.
Yeah, that's not working.
I'm going to try to go to the live stream and see if that's doing anything different. Let's see.
No, it didn't work, but that's okay. I mean, I have all the countries listed. We're in 20 countries so far, which is going to be boring doing it this way. I'd rather try to share the screen. Let me try one more time. All right.
All right.
So if I share my screen, right? Share my screen. Click on here, share my screen. Now, can I get to here? But that's not showing up on the StreamYard. All right, never mind. I don't want to look like an idiot.
Hey, we gave it our best shot.
Yeah. I got to figure out how to do it because I was able to do it. I had another an interview on StreamYard and they shared their screen, and it worked fine. But that what he was telling me is he couldn't see himself looking at the camera because he could only see his screen. So, that's why I wasn't sure how it was working. All right. So anyway, obviously we started in the U.S., expanded into Canada. Then we went into the UK, some of the, and Mexico. The big ones that I wanted to talk about was Mexico, Puerto Rico, and Greece that just opened up. New Zealand is coming by the end of this quarter. So we're going to be in 21, you call them countries. I know Puerto Rico is not a country, but it's part of the United States, but still it's another expansion.
Yeah. Brazil, Portugal,
yeah,
Australia, India was a big pickup.
Big one's a big one. Yeah.
So yeah, this is a global movement.
Yeah, it sure is.
And it's a movement because every country that we go into, when we share the idea of what we did here in the US and Canada and what we've started here, they are so excited and enthusiastic about taking that movement and expanding it in their country. And a lot of times it's not easy. Real estate is not done the same way in the US as it is even in UK or some of these other countries. So there's some adapting that needs to be done. Ironically, one of our core values is the ability to pivot and build the model around, if we have to change some things around so that it can fit into the way real estate is practiced in some of these other countries, we have the ability to do that.
Right.
And that's huge. So yeah, we're excited. I had a call the other day, Ed, from one of the agents I brought on about a year ago. He's an icon agent, meaning he's out there, he's doing a ton of transactions. He's earning all of the cap that he paid the EXP back in the form of stock. And he called me up all excited.
Yeah.
because one of his side hustles is he places soccer students from all these other countries into universities here in the U.S. It's a thing. I didn't even know that's a thing.
Right.
And he's like, I'm bringing my first agent aboard. And I'm like, oh, yeah, what state does he live in? Or what city in Ohio? And he goes, Brazil.
Cool.
And I'm like, cool. We're going to have honey badgers in Brazil. So,
Yep.
that just wouldn't, those things just wouldn't happen if I would have had you owned a real estate company. I mean, if we would have just kept our independent real estate company, or if we would have went and invested in a franchise, we would not get those types of phone calls. Period.
No.
And so it's super exciting to be able to expand your business beyond the shores of the U.S. The
expansion is just incredible, and that's what I wanted to get out there. I can put. By the way, guys, I'll put a picture of the countries in the comments on Facebook. But this is going to Facebook and LinkedIn. But yeah, I mean, it's just mind-boggling to me how you can, like you're in all 50 states. Like, who would have thought that? Like, so I'm assuming that if let's just say if I was an agent and I'm retiring, right, or so-called retiring, right? So because I have a specific question. So if I'm an agent in the U.S. and I have a team here that I'm running, a team here, not with EXP yet. Right. But I'm moving to Greece. Let's say I'm moving to Greece and I'm going to retire there. Well, do I need to get a license in Greece to build a team in Greece?
Nope.
No, you just get somebody over there that's licensed to join your team. I mean, you can get licensed in Greece, I guess, if you want to. But so when I move to Greece, does my team in the US, does that go away?
No, sir.
Nope.
You obviously, the thing you would need to do is make sure you kept your license active and good standing, and make sure you kept your continuing education going in the Jersey area. But you can literally grow it anywhere EXP is. You can grow your team there and support them. And through Honey Badger Nation, with all the coaching and the support, the collaboration that we encourage, and just really we really just put the environment together for growth. Yeah. And really it's all these rock stars that take the baton and run with it. And you can do that in any country we're in, obviously if it's a language thing where it has to be translated into a different language, that's just something we'd have to, you have to figure out, which I know that there's guys up in Canada that are working on French versions of everything right now as we speak. And I think some of our content's been translated into Spanish for other areas.
Absolutely. Yeah, it has.
Beyond that one thing, it's going to be pretty seamless, for you to be able to build a team out in other countries.
Yeah, and they have the support of whoever's running that other country. So, and I know, like I said, Michael Valdez, as he comes from Realogy that builds franchises in other countries. Realogy is a parent company, of course, for some of the big franchises.
Yeah.
But so that's where his background is. And he comes to EXP and just starts exploding into these other countries during COVID, by the way, when he couldn't even go there. He's expanding into these other countries during the pandemic. It's exciting because, hey, I've only been here for 31 months, as I told you. And that dawned on me the other day because the first, I get to watch the growth for 30 months, and I do have a group, a team, or whatever you want to call it, a modern team of 21 agents. It's not terrible, but I could have done a lot better if I was healthy, but I wasn't. So, but now I am, and I'm back.
Thank God.
But watching the growth when I came on board 31 months ago, we were only in Canada. That's it. And we weren't in all of Canada. It was US and Canada. That's it. UK's come along. All this has happened in 2.5 years.
It all happened during a pandemic when, most companies, what we witnessed was most companies were pulling back and just because of the fear of the unknown. No one knew. Yeah. We went out and opened up 2 countries right in smack dab in the middle of the pandemic.
Right.
We opened up UK and Australia. And of course, Michael Valdez, he was just getting started. You brought his name up. He's a dear friend of mine.
He's incredible.
I knew within days of that hire, having not even known who he was, he reached out and called me and introduced himself and said, I just want to work with you in growing this globally. I couldn't even get my own arms around it. It's not that I didn't believe him. His track record spoke for itself, from his previous company, opening up dozens of franchises in other countries. I knew the guy had the chops to do it. Plus our conversation, he impressed me, but how he could do it as fast as he's done was beyond impressive. And I know that he's got a great team behind him. So if anybody's watching this and listening, you can reach out to Ed and we can literally, with the technology that Michael built around our international platform, Ed can work with you to find out, A, if we're in that country, if we are, and getting you moving in the right direction, and B, if we're not, when we will be going into that country.
Right.
So definitely reach out to Ed if you have questions about your country, if you're watching this from another country.
That's a great point, Albie, because if we're not in that country yet, we probably will be. The goals are simple: 50 countries in the next 5 years, 100 countries in the next 10 years. I mean, we're going to be there. So, definitely it's a ground floor opportunity for somebody that has connections in another country to build a team when they're not even, you don't even have to be there, but obviously if you're going there, that's cool too. I mean, if you have connections, and it's going to help the people that's what we're all about, is helping each other, helping agents grow, as you said, become icon agents, get your cap back in stock, build your own business, build your own network, build your own groups, across state lines. And you can be licensed in multiple states, which, by the way, is another huge advantage of, so last week I was talking to, maybe it was 2 weeks ago, Blake Alguire. He's from Minnesota. Well, he also got his license in South Carolina. So one company, one brokerage, one cap, 2 states. You can do business in both states and you have one cap, one brokerage.
And the cool thing is you don't need to go get your broker's license in those states.
Right.
And normally if I was an independent broker in Cleveland, which I was, and let's say I wanted to go open Stasek Real Estate Experts, which was the name of my brokerage in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which is our neighbor right over here.
Yeah.
I'd have to go get a broker's license, or I'd have to go find a broker.
Right.
And then work that compensation model out. And then I have to open up an office.
Pay all the expenses. Yep.
And then I'd have the burden of recruiting the talent to there as well. And so, this just removes a lot of those constraints. Our model's built for expansion. And our model is built for someone who wants to scale their business with all of the fun things of growing a real estate business. And none of the the super painful ones. And
right.
So, they Glenn Sanford, I say it all the time, but there's Jay actually says it too, is that they're going to write a book about this man. There will be a book written about what he's been able to accomplish.
Oh, I'm sure.
For a period of time.
Yeah, it's amazing. So, so I'll put that information in the chat. Let me see if I have any more other questions. I already asked you before what book you're reading. I just finished the 10X rule. You reading anything new? You got the same one. I only had you on a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. No, I'm still, getting through a couple books. I skip around, and, I'm still working on, finishing this one out. Die with Zero.
Die with Zero. That's the one you told me about. I remember writing it down.
Yeah, the other big one and this came up this past week. I was in Seaside, Florida with Jay and a great group of our leaders.
Yeah.
With Honey Badger Nation.
Yeah.
And the book that came up often that a lot of them had read is The Gap and the Gain. And so if your audience is looking for a really profound, and this isn't just a business book. This is a business and personal. Will have a bit impact on both. The Gap and the Gain is one of those books that you're going to want to read a couple times, and it's one of those that you're going to want to give your kids. So check that one out if you haven't yet.
Sounds good. I just wrote it down. I'm always looking for a new one. So, yeah. All right. Thanks, Al. Thanks for coming on with me today. And
my friend, thank you for having me on, my friend. Appreciate all you're doing.
Yeah, I'm over here plugging.
I know you are, man. I know you are, Ed.
Yeah. We'll talk again soon. All right.
Thanks for having me on, brother. Take care.
Take care, Al.
Uh-huh.